Once upon a time, two retired teachers decided to convert their garage into a pottery studio. Along with their daughter and son, they built a business around the idea that the world could use a little more art and a lot more artists. We're the Kaya family. Welcome to Wocky Pots. Hi everybody, how you doing? How you been? How are things? Shane and Diana here with episode number 24 here at Wocky Pots Studio. Holy cow, 24 videos. Yes. That's amazing. We've been doing this for that long, but we're going to keep doing it.
It doesn't seem that long.
Nope, but we're having fun and we're going to keep doing it. What are we going to talk about this week?
Alrighty, well, let's go ahead and get started with the variety of things.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a variety. I don't even know where to start.
Last week was a great week.
Yes.
We did so many cool things. And I know we put up a kiln opening video, and I put up a video.
And a short pit fire.
Right, I put up a short video for the pit firing that we did with our homeschool clay class.
Yeah.
That went very well. I'll show a couple more pictures of that. But basically, we just had the kids make these little pinch pots, and then we bisque fired them here in the studio just to be safe. And then we gave them their final firing out in a pit fire. Now, we could have just left them bisqued, and that would have been the end of it. But really, we wanted to get a sense for how possible it was for kids to do this stuff. Now, the next time we do a pit fire outside, we will definitely add color and put some different minerals or washes on the pieces.
And you want to be extremely careful when you do that type of thing and people are around because of fumes. And I certainly wouldn't want to use certain minerals with kids.
Oh yeah, certainly. Some of them are pretty caustic and volatile
even
and dangerous.
around us, I would want to have, a mask on.
It's got to be controlled. But for the kids, for their experience
better to be safe.
Of stacking their pieces up in the fire, covering it with a metal bucket, covering the bucket with firewood, and then getting it started, I think it went really well. And the kids will take those finished pieces and they will paint them. And what I want them to do is I want them to make them look ancient. I want them to treat it somehow to make it look ancient. And that's probably going to involve just doing a wash or a white back of acrylic paint because they aren't for food. They're not going to be eating out of them. They're raku clay, and it wouldn't be good for that anyway. So I want them to finish it this coming week with something that makes it look old or ancient. It'll be fun.
I think they'll enjoy that.
So that was only a couple of things. What else happened last week?
Well, we had a glaze load, and we did the glaze unload from the kiln. And for once, you had not opened that kiln.
Right,
and that's how busy we were.
I didn't get a single sneak peek. And if you go back and watch the kiln unload video, you know that we've had a couple of really resounding successes and a couple of oops, that's probably not ideal. So if you haven't watched it, go back and take a look.
Overall, we were pleased though.
Yeah.
And and it gave us a few extra pieces to take with us when we went to the market on Saturday. And I know we had the chicken face up here last time, and you're going to show a picture of what that looked like once it was glazed.
Right, because just so you understand how different it can look from when it is first painted with glaze and then after it comes out of the kiln. Would be nice for me to be able to. The kiln
performs its magic,
It's magic. It would be nice for me to be able to hold it up in front of you, but I'm going to be completely honest with you. We haven't unpacked the truck yet from our show.
No, if you look behind us, something is very much missing.
The cupboards are bare.
And even the rack, the purple rack that's usually right here in the background
behind us. It's in the back of the truck.
It's in the back of the truck. We had to use that yesterday also.
So a lot of our new pieces...
we just kind of came home and crashed.
A lot of our new pieces that we would be showing you are packed away in crates or have been sold.
Yes.
So we'll show you a couple new pieces. And the other thing that I want to do is to show some pictures at the end, and I'll do this after our sign-off, some pictures of things that did sell that we said goodbye to this past weekend, yesterday. Some of the pieces were fantastic, and we did really, really well yesterday at the Chincoteague Island Farmers and Artisans Marketplace. It was great. We did a really good day.
Yeah, we sold 4 times our goal.
All right, so yeah, we had
we always have a little goal out there.
We had our
we blew past it.
Our first goal. We sold 4 times what our goal for the day was. And then we have a secondary number that was our hope, like what we would hope to make. And we made 3 times that. Yeah. And let me just say that the crowd was fantastically fun and friendly, and it was really, really great. We sold, how many pieces? 30 pieces?
31.
31 pieces yesterday.
Pieces.
Now, my math isn't great, but we've sold about 100 pieces total in our last 3 appearances.
Yeah.
And if we sell 100 pieces per month, and we're going to sell more than that because we have another appearance this month, but 100 pieces per month. Two more appearances. Oh my goodness.
2 more.
We have got to make a lot of stuff. So we're going to be spending a good deal of next week making new things. We have to. We're literally selling everything that we're making. So we have to do that. And we have lots of other things going on too. Did you want to go into next week yet, or you want to wait for just a second?
No, let's go ahead and finish up last week because last night, in fact, we were contacted by a family for a Mother's Day gift class that they wanted a specific class. They wanted to come and make a sugar bowl with a lid. And
that's 3 generations. So we have the grandmother, the mother, and the granddaughter all coming in to make a lidded sugar dish. And this is going to be hand built.
Yes.
Right?
So I will actually be working on designing a template this week for that. And then they're going to come in and they're going to make their pieces and we'll have a grand time. But it's a class that we've designed specific for that family, but we're happy to do that class for anyone else who would want that class, or if there's another idea that someone has, if it's something that we think we can pull off,
I have lost track of the number of classes that we've had that were somebody else's idea. They wanted to come into the studio to do a class.
It's kind of a challenge.
This is our most recent one, but plates and bowls and all kinds of other stuff. Other people had the idea to do the class, and we do a little bit of research and thinking about it, and we know how to do that, so let's do a class. And I would like to invite you, if you're watching and you're able to come do a class here at the studio, if there's not something typical that you want to make, like a mug or something, let us know. Reach out to us, because the worst thing we can do is say, nope, we can't do it, sorry. But there's a pretty good chance that we will do that class with you. So if you have an idea, something you're thinking about, maybe an idea for gifts for holidays or something like that, that's that's a thing to do.
And it does. It presents a challenge to us and
keeps it fun, keeps it fresh. Yeah.
Keeps our minds going too.
And speaking of holidays, we didn't even mention it. Happy Mother's Day, everybody out there. We didn't mention today is Mother's Day.
And I know that not all countries celebrate Mother's Day on the same date, but many of them do. I found out that there are more than 50 countries out there that celebrate Mother's Day on the second Sunday of May.
Yep, so that's fantastic.
So there's a good chance, if you're watching, that it is Mother's Day where you are. Mm-hmm. And if it isn't, we still want to wish you a happy Mother's Day for whenever your Mother's Day is.
A few years ago, I took a cross-country motorcycle trip solo by myself all the way across the United States. And my second day of my trip, I was in West Virginia, and I stopped in Grafton, West Virginia, and visited the International Mother's Day Shrine. If I get a chance, I'll throw up a picture or two from that as well, because that was a fun time. That was a good experience. So, yep.
I'm sorry.
You're glad you can't see?
I was just like, something's there.
I'm sure you'll be in much better focus now with everybody, right? They'll be able to see you way better.
Well, I don't know about that, but at least I can see now.
Okay. All right. So what else do we have that we need to talk about from this past week?
I think that covers this past week. we have a question that we can go
Yeah,
ahead
let's
and
talk about
answer.
the question.
Yes. So our question actually came from James when he brought his
From Hanson's Craftery.
yes,
James
and
from
he
Hanson's
brought
Craftery.
his children in for the clay art class. And he was asking about, is there a way to do a fish print on clay using glaze and still be able to eat the fish? Because in the conversation I found out that he loves to fish, and the family, they like to eat the fish that they catch. And so he wanted to be able to make these really cool fish prints, but still be able to consume the fish.
Let's talk about what a fish print is,
Yes.
first of all.
Yes, I did some research.
We have extensive research, you guys.
You know, that's the thing. I'll look anything up.
Okay, so tell us about fish prints.
Okay.
I'll put up some pictures too so you can see what we're
Alrighty
talking
then.
about.
So now let's see if I can pronounce this. Gyotaku. No.
Close it up. Gyotaku.
I can't do it.
Fish prints.
Yes, Gyotaku.
Fish prints. Okay.
There we go. Okay. Basically, this is a technique that Japanese fishermen in the 1800s used to actually record the size and the species of their catches. And because they did not do photography, there was not photography in that early time. And so they would be able to record their catches before they took them to the fishmongers.
So basically, they would slap
to sell
them, slap them with ink,
Yeah.
slap them with ink, then put paper down on top of the fish that had ink on it. Pull the paper away, and you've got a fish print.
Right.
And then the fish can be sold to the market.
Yeah. And they could tell what species it was from the print and how long it was, and gave some of them some bragging rights.
So
look how big my fish was.
Right. So it turned into its own art form.
Yeah.
And James saw an artist, and I wish I had gotten his name, but I didn't. Saw an artist set up at Snow Hill's First Friday event selling fish print paintings that he had done. And James has the idea of putting fish prints onto slabs of clay and making a platter, a big plate with an actual fish print done in glaze on the clay plate. And that's a great idea. And that's another example of us wanting to do things that other people find interesting or that give us the idea. So, James, thank you very much for the idea. And now it's time to actually answer the question.
Yes. So what we found out is that there have been folks who've actually done catch and release. So, yes. So
can you imagine be like an alien abduction if you're a fish, right? You get caught, yanked up onto the boat or whatever, slapped with ink.
15 to 30 seconds, get it on, put it back in the water.
And then you're back in the water.
So, and the fish was perfectly fine.
Half colorful then.
and went on to live out its life. Now, in James's case, his family wants to eat the fish for their meal.
So the question was, is it safe?
Is it safe? Yes. And so basically from what I've discovered is if you use a non-toxic glaze, and so
this is an example. This is an example of a non-toxic glaze. This is Stroke and Coat, Mako Stroke and Coat.
Often used in classrooms.
Often used in schools and in classrooms. Yes. And it is certified non-toxic, lead-free, and food safe. Now, the difference between non-toxic and food safe is that non-toxic means we're not poisonous right in the bottle. Like you could literally upend it and drink it, and it's not going to poison me. And then food safe means that when we make pottery with it, we can eat food off of the pottery, and it's still safe. This fulfills both of the requirements that we had. And the first one was that the liquid glaze isn't poisonous.
Right.
And then after it's fired, the fired ceramic product that the glaze becomes is also safe to eat from. So
so the first part is making sure you use a non-toxic glaze. Second thing would be to make sure that after you've done the fish print, wash your fish really well.
Right.
And one of the suggestions even was if you're a little worried still, it doesn't hurt to just skin the fish.
Right. So either wash the fish, wash it and remove the scales, or skin the fish.
Yes. And then you just go ahead and prepare your fish however you want to eat it.
If you didn't do any of that, it's not going to be poisonous.
Right.
If any residue, anything left on the fish isn't going to be poisonous. And it's the same thing with anything that's used in a classroom, colored pencils or crayons or tempera paint, anything like that, school paste, for example, it has to be able to be safe if that weird kid that sits in the back drinks half a bottle of glue or something. It can't be poisonous. So the point is,
it happens.
Not that I'm that kid.
No, but it happens. Yeah. I did teach elementary school.
Yeah.
It can happen.
Well, yeah, it's. I remember one kid when I was a third grade teacher that's how this child paid for their ice cream at lunchtime. They would get their classmates to drop them a nickel or a quarter for doing dumb things like eating glue and that kind of stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. So kids are kids, and
yes.
And the point is, it's this is the kind of thing we're going to use. So James, when you're ready, you're going to come to the studio with you. Bring the fish, and I'll provide the clay, and we'll get some platters made. For sure.
I bet you guys will have a grand time doing that.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. So anyway, thanks James for the question.
Alrighty. So let's go ahead and move on to this week. And we've already said that we're going to be making. Make. Because our shelves are extremely bare of greenware. And if we don't get things made and have them sitting so they can dry, we won't be able to bisque them. And then we won't be able to glaze them. And then we won't have new pieces to put on the table.
So it's
a process.
There is an incentive for us to actually make things. So we're going to be chained to the potter's wheel or to the table. And we're going to be making a lot of things. I'm not going to make any new things until I've made all the raku pieces that I need to make for the osprey nest on Chincoteague.
And you truthfully have the right amount, but you don't have the spares.
And we have extras.
Yes.
Raku is fiddly, and some of the pieces crack, and sometimes they don't turn out. So you always have to have extras. So I have some more pieces that I need to make to make sure that we have the pieces that they've requested. Now, after that, then I want to make some things out of that porcelain clay that I haven't even opened yet. It's 25 pounds of clay that I haven't. So I'm going to make some things out of porcelain, some cups. I had some requests for some larger mugs.
Yes.
And the other thing is, and you're seeing it sitting here right here. I have got to glaze this.
We forgot to say we actually bisqued this stuff. Bisqued a lot of stuff last week because it took up half the space in the kiln. We just actually opened it yesterday. Yesterday afternoon.
This vase takes up half the space in the kiln,
and then the other half was filled with the students' bird feeders and some other things. Who knows now?
Everything we could wedge in. But we have to get some of these pieces glazed so we can do another glaze load because this is my number one priority for glazing. But the other pieces that you're seeing in front of you are things that are on our back burner, things that we've had for a little while and we just haven't glazed for whatever reason.
Yes.
So we have
like
things
cute little
gnomes.
Little gnomes.
So we have some things that we do have to glaze, although they might not make it into the kiln and then out before our next market appearance next Saturday. At the very least, they do have to be done. And one of the things is, this is Diana's house number plaque that also has to be glazed. So when we're not making things out of actual clay, these are a few of the things that we need to get glazed and then in the kiln as early as possible.
Yes, hopefully by next weekend.
Our hope is by next weekend.
I don't know. That's going to be a push. But as far as the making goes, you did mention the mugs and the raku, but we also need to do bowls and plates, butter dishes, and more slab-built chickens.
Yeah, they loved that slab-built chicken. I'll show you a picture of it, but they loved that slab-built chicken.
But,
somebody else wanted it more.
And I thought to myself, if somebody wants this chicken, then they're going to take that chicken and they're going to love that chicken and enjoy it, and that makes me happy because I know I can always make myself one.
I think we both kind of had a feeling like that. You with that chicken because you found it that you loved it after it came out of the kiln. And then my big white clay bowl with the ancient copper on the inside.
He showed it last week.
Somebody bought it. And that's right. That's the bowl that I highlighted, showcased last week.
Oh, and she loved
and
that.
She loved it.
Oh,
and
you could see her face just lit up, and she smiled, and she held it into the sunlight.
But here's an example: you don't really know something is perfect for you until you pick it up.
Yes.
So she picked it up and felt that smooth surface.
And she looked at several things and picked up several things, but it was when she picked that bowl up that smile came. And I knew, she didn't even have to tell me, she was going to leave with that bowl. I knew. You can tell the look.
We're going to do a short little bit, in addition to some of the other pictures that I said I wanted to show. At the end, after our sign-off, we'll show you some of the things that sold yesterday at the Snow Hill appearance. Now, we really aren't seeing a specific pattern.
No, it's a wide variety. I
mean, we
sold some necklaces.
Yep, necklaces, the worry stones.
Yes. Yes, and Lainey, thank you, because the worry stones were your idea.
Lainey, thank you for that idea, because we've sold several of those.
And people love them, and they love the way they feel, and they just, once they pick them up, they just keep rubbing.
Very tactile thing.
Yes.
And also, we sold a whole bunch of mugs and cups. One of the mugs that just came out of this last glaze load, I loved it. It was the tall, skinny one with the thin handle, and somebody picked that up and just absolutely loved it.
Yes, and like espresso cup size is sold also. It's just a great variety of pieces, and I love that, because then you're really hitting something that people want, because people are so different and their needs are so different.
And we've heard this several times. People come up to our booth and they love how colorful and different things are. It's not like they see 50 of the same thing.
And that's our goal.
Yeah, we want to be as different.
I want
and
something for
possible.
Everyone. That's my personal motto: something for everyone. Because I just want everybody to be able to have that same enjoyment. The other thing that we were asked a few times at the market about, and so we're going to make some this week, was mortar and pestles.
Mortar and pestles. Yes. Those are...
Whoops, I've done it again.
It's tough to remember that T is silent. It's mortar and pestle, but it's easy to miss that. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to make some more of those. We had somebody ask if we had any of those specifically, and we don't, but we can.
Yeah, and so we will.
If we make
them, 3 weeks from now, maybe.
Well, if we make them super thick, though, that's
then it'll
problem.
Be 4.
It's something like that. You need to make thick and sturdy and heavy, and it might take a long time to dry.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. But that's a lot of things that we want to make. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting challenge.
And in our clay class this week, this is our last one with the kids this week.
With the kids.
So we're focusing on...
I'm going to miss them so much, you guys.
Yes. We're focusing on all the ways that, you can decorate the pieces.
Right.
Once they've been, bisque fired. So they're going to be glazing some of their pieces. You talked about earlier how they'll even use some paint on those other pieces.
The stuff that's not for food.
And then our project for the week is going to be learning how to do sgraffito.
So we're going to make
another way to decorate a piece.
We're going to make some tiles up for the students that they can do sgraffito techniques on. They'll have to come back to the studio, of course, to finish those, because this next class with them on Tuesday will be the last time that they see us for a class.
Right.
So they'll have to come back and pick up their sgraffitoed tiles.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be fun. That'll be a good experience for them.
Yeah, I think so too. And of course, this week, personally, we have a lot going on too, because our son has his piano recital up at Salisbury University. And then we also have his performance in the Salisbury Youth Orchestra also this week. So lots of musical events going on in the evenings.
And I guess I'm making cowboy hats too.
Oh, that's right.
So I don't know how, but my daughter Carolyn, the one that is a glassblower,
and rides horses,
has decided that she needs to learn how to make her own cowboy hat. So we spent a little bit of time yesterday making the form for the felt. She will then wet the felt with steam the felt around the hat shape, the block of foam that we're using. and then size it to fit her own head. And she's going to be hopefully wearing her own cowboy hat that she made herself to the rodeo, the PBR, Pro Bull Riding event, happening not too far in the future.
I think it's in June. It's in June because I've got a ticket to it also. And I really think it's ironic because if you remember all those years ago,
yeah,
I was in the middle of watching the PBR
when all of a sudden Carolyn decides it's time to be born.
Yep.
That was it.
So I think it's kind of funny that, here we are. She's a grown woman now and she's going to go watch that PBR.
Yep. It kind of links back. Everything loops back.
Yes.
So we're all going to be learning how to make cowboy hats here at Wocky Pot Studio because that's what we do. Yep. New things all the time.
All the time. Yep. And last week we told everybody that we wanted to be able to put pins up on a map.
Right.
And so one of the things I wanted for Mother's Day.
It's a map. So it's a Rand McNally world map, 50 inches by 32 inches. And we're going to put this map up on a wall.
I'm so excited.
When you tell us in the comments where you're from, we're going to stick pins in the map for your location. Eventually, we'll have a map full of pins.
Yes. And if you've already told us where you're from, we're going to put you up first. So, of course, Lainey, I can't wait to put a little pin on Dunedin, New Zealand. Mm-hmm. And then we have a lady in British Columbia.
Right.
Australia.
Right.
Netherlands. Oh, it's just so much fun.
And then anybody who leaves a comment, no matter where you're from, if you tell us where you're from, we'll stick a pin in that location, and eventually the map will all be filled. And I think that would be a great thing.
I love it. I love going and finding where people are. Mm-hmm. And then one of the things I like to do too is I like to learn a little bit about the area, and so it kind of gives me, a research project almost. Well, I know, I'm strange.
It's a small world after all, right? I mean, we want to learn about the world around us.
But I do. I love to learn, about an area and what it's known for and, how it's different than where I am.
It just makes it fun.
Or how it's the same.
Yep. And that reminds me, if we do get to 300 subscribers, we'll be posting our how-to videos. And we're getting closer. We're at 237 is what we're at now. If we get to 300, then we'll start posting our regular how-to videos. Okay?
Yes. So anyway, and today we're having a great meal for Mother's Day. We've got pork in the crock pot, and I'm having candied yams, baked corn, and rolls, and maybe some green beans.
Can I come to dinner? Oh wait, no. I'm going to be there too already. Yeah.
And Carolyn is coming over
to eat and make hats.
And Christopher will be there. So that's the best Mother's Day in the entire world to me, to have both my kids together for a meal.
Yep. It's going to be a great meal.
Yeah.
What else do we have kicking for the future that we need to talk about? Anything?
I think that's it.
Okay, well, I think we need to go ahead and sign it out because we have got stuff to do, you guys. It's a beautiful day outside. Rainy this morning. It has cleared off. It's sunny now. It's going to be a really great day. Let's go ahead and sign it out.
Sure.
All right. Thank you so much for watching. Please do hit that like and subscribe button. Hit the bell icon if you want to be notified of new content. And thank you so much for all of your support and all of the kind words that you guys direct to us, both with our YouTube comments and when you see us in person. It is a really, really great thing, and we love it. All right, we all set?
Yeah.
All right, toodaloo, everybody. TTFN, ta-ta for now. Take care. See you later. Have a fantastic day, no matter where you're at. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.